0.7% lower. Quite the surprise. A tumble is what the market has actually taken, much unlike what we were yesterday. And, once again, the losses are led by largely technology, you'd have to say. I can see Infosys, TechM, Wipro, all those stocks are down anywhere between about 2.5 to 1.25% downtick coming in for Infosys. HDFC Bank is lower by 1.5%. ICICI Bank is well lower in trade. But where are NBFCs, considering they were the ones which really held out quite smartly in trade yesterday and led to that big uptick in the index coming in? But let's take the conversation forward as to what is it that we can expect from the entire sector. We've got Kaitav Shah, the lead BFSI analyst at Anand Rathi, joining in on the show right now. Kaitav, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much. And New Year greetings firstly to you. Help us understand what the landscape is looking like for 2025 for this entire segment.
Happy New Year to you and all the viewers of this network. So, in terms of landscape, you can assume that NBFCs have done very well over the last 2 to 3 years. Growth has been pretty high, but this year will be softer growth that you can assume. RBI did highlight pain points in a lot of different products within the retail category. I think once these get worked about, you will see some consolidation taking place this year in terms of loan growth across the board. So, be it unsecured lending or secured lending, you will see some numbers coming off. Having said that, you've already seen some of it in the price in the month of December, where stocks had corrected to valuations became very attractive, and hence you saw some move that came in yesterday.
Okay, point taken. So that's a view coming in on the entire sector outlook. But what about Bajaj Finance specifically? I mean, we were discussing how the stock has been a bit soft if you take a long-term kind of view. But this year, do you expect it to be materially different?
In terms of the fundamental growth and earnings outlook, I think Bajaj will not be very different. There has been slight uptick in the credit cost. That will be the number that will be washed out in the second half for FY25. But apart from that, we don't think there's anything that has changed fundamentally in Bajaj Finance. Still remains the go-to fintech sort of model. It is led clearly by technology. It's a great executor of technology and implementer of technology.
Why do you think things... first let's understand your thoughts on MFI space. The pain what we've seen in last 2 quarters, could it extend itself for another 2 quarters?
So NBFC and banking business, you generally look at the balance sheet more than P&L, correct? Are we closer to bottom in terms of the balance sheet clearing out? Possibly, yes. Third quarter could mean bottom in terms of the asset quality issues or peak in the credit cost. That is quite possible. It will still take some time for them to start growing. Maybe FY25 would be a better year, but FY26. By 25, I don't think we'll see any growth coming into microfinance companies. Whatever we've done channel checks in the month of December, I think broadly there is a consensus that collection efficiencies have been better. Customers at the ground level have come back to pay money. So there is still some amount of turnaround, of course. But it will not be very wise to call it the bottom. There will be still some pain in the P&L that will linger around till the fourth quarter.
What role do you think interest rates would play in deciding the valuations for NBFCs? Let's say hypothetically, if interest rates come down by 50 bips in 2025, which they would. The debate is 50 or 75, but interest rates will come down. How will that change life for NBFC stocks?
NBFCs are more sensitive to interest rate changes because their loan book are on the fixed rate side. Component is higher compared to banks, and hence this entire benefit will pass on to them eventually.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on the NBFC sector and the overall, way the MFI is shaping up. But if I had to ask you specifically stock-specific recommendations, or what is a stock that you would recommend can be an outperformer this year from the pack, what name comes to mind?
So our topics in the NBFC space include Chola Finance and L&T Finance. We think they can deliver outsized returns this year.
These are the stocks that look good. Thanks so much for making time and